Hello everybody and welcome back to a brand new video. And today I'm going to be breaking down my approach to the Toa Metru build. So this is, in my opinion, one of the best ways to utilize this build. A lot of people in the community often say that this is one of the best, or if not the best, like Toa silhouette, but it is quite restrictive. You can't really move their shoulders in any way. Their gear function, it's solid, but it was done much better on the Toa Haga, and also the gray specifically in the Toa Metru, what holds them back. So to start this off, we will look at some aesthetic choices you can do to upgrade your Toa builds, specifically for the 2004 Toa Metru designs. You can apply this to your own sets, or you can apply this to your own mocks. You don't have to give me credit or anything. This is just like stuff I've learned from other people, so therefore I think other people should be aware of things like this, just because it's fun. It utilizes the build much more efficiently than Lego did. But anyway, so to start here, we have Vakama. His head's kind of like messed up right now, just because that's how Studio works. The software I am using is Bricklink Studio, and I have access to all these sets through the biopacks and through the Bionicle set archive that's posted on BZP within the Studio format files. I recommend downloading those. I'll try to include some links to the parts packs in the description, but if you want a really good tutorial on how to download these, I would check out the video by Pilot. I'll link that one for sure, because that's like how I learned how to do this myself. But anyway, so we look at the standard Toa Metru here, and the colors themselves are up to debate whether these were a good swap for this year, or any of that. I think the main colors are fine. I think the darker colors are good. I just think the gray is what kind of like throws it off a little bit. I really only think the gray works best for Wanua here. For everyone else, I think it just kind of throws off the build. It works a little bit for Nuju as well. But they're a lot more boring to look at, especially when you look at the Miramax film designs, which utilize their Turaga accents. So on my version of the Toa Metru, we have the Lacan here with the outdated joint thing. I'll show you how to fix this later. But basically, this is my outdated design of it, but this is just like, we're just focusing on the colors right now, so it's not too important. So unfortunately, some of these part colors are not, they were never released with these parts in mind. So these pieces, for instance, like they did not come in this light bluish gray. You would have to paint them to your liking to try to color match them. Some parts do, so you have some part references here. These specifically came on Nuparu Inaika. I'm sure it came on some other ones, but that's just the first one off the top of my head. And these ankle guards, I would just recommend 3D printing them rather than buying official ones and then painting them. I think it's much better if you just 3D print a lot of these, especially the chest piece here. But these parts themselves, you can get knockoffs for. They won't have the exact same, see like little holes here where you can see like the axles go through. But if you want to, you can paint official parts. I try not to do that just because Lego doesn't make them anymore. So that's just my opinion. I just don't do that. I might do it for some of these, like if they were in gray, just because like they're so cheap. But then again, if you look at like the price for brand new at the bottom here, it's 1.6 USD on average for this piece brand new. So do keep that in mind if you are going to do that. But luckily for some of these joints did come in a lot of colors thanks to the Paraka. So we have some AVAC joints here that complement Anawa very well. As I already mentioned, there was some light bluish gray in here. I did think about making it sand blue, but I don't think that goes with Nuju's design too well, especially since the Turaga build utilizes a lighter gray. It's not the exact same light gray, but of course this is in like the post-2004 era where Lego switched out their grays for more of like a bluish gray. But anyway, so as you can see for Wanua, I kept him the same. Now, you have probably noticed that I have adjusted the neck joint here. If you want to lower it back to how it is usually for him and for some of the others, like, that's fine. I just find that you get a lot better neck movements by doing it this way, and it makes the figure much better. If you like the hunchback look, I think that would work well for him. Again, you just can't really move the head that much, so I just do it like this. And I mean, he's already super short anyway. We can move on here. So we have some Zactan sand green parts for Metru here. You could use lime if you want. I think that makes him look a little bit more like a mutant of some sorts, kind of like out of the 2007 line. That could work if you wanted to do that. I found the sand green to work a little bit better for me. Again, you would have to either get the official part of this and paint it, or 3D print it and paint it. But everything else is official here. That goes for all the other chest parts here. But anyway, and we got Nokama. We got some Thok colors right here. I think this really brings out the colors here. And for Vakama, I adjusted him quite a bit here. He's slightly taller. Of course, like, the neck thing is not there anymore. I don't think the hunch thing worked too well for his original design. Some people are not going to like that his neck is like this, but that's just the way I like it, so bite on that. These did not come in orange, but luckily this color is easy to replicate if you want to do that. But yeah, everything else is pretty standard here. Yeah, these aren't official or anything. You'd have to paint these or print them. And yeah, so that's like in terms of like bringing out colors with your Metru designs. Really try to utilize some Paraka parts or some Baraki parts as well, because like Alec came with some lime joints. Obviously they would snap, but you also have these also came in white on Prydac as well. So if you want to make like if you want to make something more in like the color scheme of like Lacan here, where the joints are matching his main torso, then obviously you would have some options there. But yeah, I would just recommend exploring that, and if they don't have official colors with these specific parts, then you can always just get some knockoffs and paint them. I have no issue with people using knockoffs with Bionicle specifically. We haven't gotten proper Bionicle parts since G1 ended. I know G2 was a thing, but let's be honest, that was kind of just glorified Hero Factory. But anyway, so we are going to move on to the more technical side here, and like how to get like more dynamic poses and to really utilize this gear function a lot more without restricting the build. So anyway, we're going to start from the bottom and go up. So obviously we have these Glatorian ankle guards right here. This really helps bring out that Miramax look. I also like to use the Rakshi legs here as well, but for the sake of Lacan, I opted for these. I did have some Rakshi ones initially, but they just kind of made them a little bit too tall. But going up here, we have some armor plates here. This is because he is... So when I go about my mocks or revamps or my own versions of canon like characters, I try my best to refer to the set the best that I can without overhauling it completely. Obviously, that will be up to my discretion just based on things I like or whatever. But anyway, we're gonna look at the armor here. So I keep the black, and on the original Lacan set, he has the same torso build as Nuju, where he is the tallest one. So he's just like the tallest Metru aside from Nuju. As he also has the proper neck here, so he can move his head around a bit. He's honestly the best Metru build up until the Haga came along. Just obviously like his colors really help with that and all that. But anyway, so I took some of these Technic parts here, just to kind of like give it more, keep like the red a little bit more. Like, I still like the black because like the black is obviously a slight accent throughout here. I don't remember if the gears officially were black or not, but I know like these weren't black, these were gray. I made these black for that reason. I'll get to these later, because these look, if you know anything about official LEGO parts, these do not exist, and I'll get into that later. But anyway, so we'll here with the cod piece, if you will. I know I'm showing you his junk, sorry about that. I utilize the Toa 2 Yet build from, I believe his name is, I don't know how to pronounce his name properly. I believe it's either Bucky or Buki. So this was from the Toa 2 Yet build to kind of fill this gap in, and I think that was a really smart technique, so I stole that. I originally did have a different, like a variant one of this piece, but it doesn't come in the dark red color. Again, you could just paint a knockoff one or an official one. I just chose this for now just to kind of keep things like as official as I can without using too many knockoff parts. But anyway, so I put one on the back, I put one on the front, just because like otherwise there's just this big kind of like black space here that kind of throws off the color scheme, and it just looks flat, and especially with like the armor he has like everywhere else, it'd be kind of weird to leave the sensitive area exposed. So anyway, that's that. I'll make a quick note about these sword adjustments here. So I love this like sword board shield design. It's one of my favorite designs in G1, but it's not easy for the figure to hold it at all. This way it makes the con hold it a lot easier. You can always use another one of these parts, the one with the axle hole rather than the axle stick if you don't like this. There are knockoffs of this part in like a flat silver. It's a little bit different from the pearl light gray, but it's pretty much the same. I don't think anyone would notice, so you can definitely get some of those in the silver kind of color to kind of go with the sword. I have yet to build this in real life, but I've made prototypes of it, so I know it will work whenever I do get around to making it in real life. But anyway, I think this just improves it a lot. Otherwise, if you have the money, there is someone on Etsy that made a design of the sword blade in the vein of the film, while making it still look like it does in the set. The one that I'm referring to splits it off to 2 different pieces and has like a curve. It's really, really nice. I asked the guy for the studio model, and he immediately blocked me for some reason. He could have just said no. But anyway, I'll just probably try to like make my own version of it at some point, because I think it's just a much better design overall, despite me thinking that this is really good. But anyway, I digress. I'm getting too much into the custom kind of approach to it. But anyway, so that's how I go about that, and I think that would help just your Lacan build a lot better if you had this here or something similar to it. So yeah, we'll go out from there. So this chest piece is by Galva here. It's the Metru Nui Guard chest plate. It's really, really nice, because if you take it off here, obviously you can see like the bar piece where I have like the heartstone, which isn't necessary. I might actually remove these eventually. But anyway, he's a lot more flat and a lot more like skinny if you don't have like a chest piece like this. It can still work, and obviously there's still like charm to like that old design if you wanted to keep that old aesthetic, but I much just prefer the chest piece there. It's kind of similar to the film. I don't love all the film designs, but I do think there are things to take from them for revamping or utilizing the overall Metru build, just because the film takes the approach where like it applies techniques you can't apply to the actual Lego model without making like brand new molds and things like that. But so my approach here is that I always try to keep things true to the set while taking elements from different designs, such as like the Miramax ones, for example. We'll get to the main part here that you're probably wondering the most about. So these sockets are super, super useful. There are an abundance of them on AliExpress. I got mine from AliExpress. Shops on AliExpress change all the time, so I'm not going to link the one where I got it from, but a lot of people have these, especially in black. I don't know if they have them in gray yet, if you want to keep the gray for like the classic Metru look, but the black looks a lot better here in my opinion. But anyway, so this is the part that's going to be the issue. So unless you have a resin printer where you can print ABS like plastic, this part does not exist whatsoever. This is by Avantix for one of the Mata packs, and unfortunately not even any knockoffs have made this one yet. I'm actually surprised Lego has not made this piece as of yet. So it will either be a matter of time till it becomes official, or someone will make a knockoff of it at some point. Otherwise, you're going to have to get a resin printer or have someone that has a resin printer to print these for you. Do not FDM print any parts for Bionicle unless they're Kanohi, because it will wear down the joints, and you don't want to break your Bionicle parts. That would be not good. Anyway, I will put that back there. And this part is great because it will allow you to pose the shoulder while still having the gear function. Because otherwise, if you want to use the socket technique and you don't have a resin printer or anything, you will have to use one of the Technic connector versions of this that's like shorter, and just stick it in here, the little hole. But you won't have access to the gear function. Some people don't care about that. I care about that a bit, but like I don't think it's not a deal breaker for me, especially for stop motion. Like it's not going to matter. So this is just the way I like to have it. And yeah, that pretty much sums up my version of the Metru build. So if you have this longer axle piece of the toe ball, then you can still utilize that gear function, but if not, then you can still swap it out for posability. Depending on which you want to prioritize is up to you. But this just makes it a lot better in my opinion. I'm just really happy when I cracked the code on this. Obviously for Lacan here, very, very happy. You can see like just the poses I can do with it. Even just right now, like being able to bend the shoulders just a little bit is just so nice, because they're kind of stuck in that awkward stance where like their shoulders are a little bit too high. They're just angled that way. And I still love the original sets, but obviously as time goes on, parts get better and designers get better, so you can apply that to the old stuff. But yeah, no, so that pretty much summarizes the ways that I utilize the Metru build. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you didn't enjoy it, then please let me know, and I'll try to make some other videos like this in the future. Thank you very much.